What's going on, Slay Baes? It's your girl Ashley and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I really wanted to film my version of a classic Valentine's Day makeup look. One of the main reasons is because while my last video was really fun, poppy, and different, I personally feel like most people, maybe about 80 to 90% of the people, would gravitate more towards a look like this because it's smoky, it's sultry, it's sexy, it's super classic. It's one of those looks that you can wear for so many different occasions, and who doesn't love that? So I'm gonna break it down for you guys, show you guys the products I use to achieve this look. So if you guys are about it and here for it, which I know you are, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click that bell so that way you guys are notified anytime I upload, which is every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 times a week, every single week. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into the look. I'm going to first start off with a little bit of my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Medium 1 Custard. I love to use this to prime my eyelids. Now this is a $30 concealer. It is very, very pricey. So if you have another concealer or eyeshadow primer, definitely use that to prime your eyelids. Honestly, I just really, really love this and I've been using it for the past like 2 years. So use what you got and keep it moving. Since I did put that concealer all over the lid, I definitely am going to go in with more of a skin tone shadow in my crease to kind of set it just so that way it doesn't crease throughout the day. And I'm just going to use my face powder. Today I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder in the shade Medium 2. So if you look really closely, you'll definitely be able to tell that I have like slight color in my crease, nothing too crazy. I'm now gonna go ahead and move on to shadows. I will be using the original Jaclyn Hill palette in this video simply because this is such a universal palette. It has a mixture between neutrals and warm tones and some pops of color. And I know how popular this palette is. I know a lot of you guys personally own it at home, and I really wanted to use shadows that a lot of you guys would have so that way you guys could easily follow along with. So I'm gonna go in with that same brush, that same M441, and I'm gonna pick up this softer brown in the palette. The shade I'm using is called Silk Cream, and I'm rocking it from outer to inner corner. I love how soft this shade is. It really just allows me to, you know, add some definition to the crease without going too crazy. So I'm just taking this back and forth. I'm now going to go in with a little bit of the shade called Butter, and I'm switching over to an M433, and I'm going to start by packing this right here on the outer V. I'm simply just patting it. Once the majority of the product has already left my brush, I'm just going to go ahead and sweep it into the crease and just flick it inwards. Ooh, do y'all see that blend though? Girl, I am in it to win it. Whatever's left on my brush, I'm just gonna run it back and forth into the socket of the crease just to warm things up a little bit. I'm really going to concentrate on not bringing this above the shade called Silk Cream though. So I'm keeping it low, but still in my crease. I'm now just gonna pick up a little bit of Enlight and pop that on my brow bone. And then with an M433, I'm really just going to run it back and forth to blend my brow bone highlight in with my transitional color. After my brow bone highlight, I'm going to pick up the shade called Buns. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to deepen up the very outer V of the look. And I'm really just going to focus it again right here towards the very outer V area. I'm going to start in patting motions and then I'm going to gently flick it inwards. Following that, I'm going to switch over to using an M514 and picking up a little bit of the shade called Mocha. I'm just gonna go in small circular motions right here on the very outer V area. And this is really going to create more of a smoky look. And again, I'm only focusing it right here towards the very outer V area. So it should start to look a little something like this once I have the majority of the color in place. I'm gonna go in with an M507, which is my version of kind of like a precise mini pencil blending brush all in one. And I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of Mocha, and I'm simply going to just put this right here on the outer V and then slightly flick it inwards just so that way I have a little bit more of a better blend. Then picking up a little bit of the shade called Buns, I'm just going to put this directly over top of that mocha color and then just slightly blend inwards. Again, this is really going to help with the overall blending of the look. Now that I have my shadow down for the most part, I am going to go in with liner. Now, you can do one of two things with this look. You could do just a thin line across your lash line, or you can do like a cat eye wing. I'm personally going to skip out on a cat eye just because I've been having so many issues doing wing liner recently, and I'm really just not trying to mess this up. So I'm going to take an ABH A28. You can also use a MAC 210 brush to create a very thin line on my upper lash line. What I'm doing now is I'm just taking a pencil brush and I'm kind of just smudging out the edge just so that way it's not super stark or harsh right here. And I'm going to kind of connect it right here with the very lower lash line a little, but nothing too crazy. I'm just kind of like patting my pencil brush right along the liner. Following liner, I am going to pop on falsies. I'm going to use these by Icon Lashes in the style Bella. These are so fun and flirty, super long, right up my alley. I really love this style of lash, and I actually have a coupon code with Icon Lashes. If you guys use Amarie30, you can actually get 30% off. Now, I don't promote coupon codes often, but since I have one, I figured I would let you guys know what it is. I'll also have it linked down below for you. So now that my lashes are on, I want to do my post notification shout out of the day. And I want to give a huge shout out to Hillary Smith. Hillary says, I freaking love you, boo. I love you too. I'm here for all of your makeup looks, and I'm a faithful slay bae and always will be a part of your notification squad. Hands down. I love that you're so chill and in depth with all your looks, and you're always keeping it affordable too. Thanks, lovey. XO Hillary. I'm so glad you love my affordable looks. I'm definitely going to be filming loads more of them, so stick around. And if you guys want to be a part of the notification squad as well, all you have to do is press that notification bell right up here and leave me a comment down below with the hashtag SlayBaes for the chance to be my post notification shout out in my next video. With that, let's go ahead and move on to the face. I'm going to start off by priming. Today I will be using the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. Now, I know the e.l.f. one was one that I've used in the past, but I don't know about you guys. Anytime I'm going out on a date, I want to gravitate towards products that are a little bit more luxurious. Not to say I have super luxurious products in my collection, but I like to kind of dip out of my affordable bin and dip into more prestige products, just so that way I could feel a little bit more like luxe and glamorous. So I will be using this guy by Tatcha, and I'm only going to concentrate this right here where I want to actually fill in my pores. So right here on my cheek area and on the sides of my nose. And while I'm at it, I'm going to take some Neutrogena makeup wipes and clean up the fallout I have right here underneath my eyes. So for the rest of my face, I'm going to use this primer right here by Smashbox. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. It's a moisturizer and primer all in one, and this is literally my holy grail primer. And I like to just put this on the outside of my face, pretty much all of the areas where I did not put the pore filling primer. And this is really just going to help with the overall longevity of my makeup and just make sure it lasts for a good amount of time throughout the day. So primer's on. I'm now going to go in with some of my Pixi color correcting concealer in the shade Brightening Peach. Now, this is probably one of my holy grail products. Like, I literally can't do my makeup without it. Like, if I'm actually like going out and I really want to be like flawless, you know what I mean? So I'm going to take a little bit of this on a Smashbox blurring concealer brush, and I'm going to put this directly underneath my eyes. I'm also going to put it around my mouth, like right in this area right here, because sometimes in photos I do notice that that area is a little bit darker than I want it to be. So I'm going to use the peach concealer to cancel out that dark area. For foundation, I will be mixing these two foundations together. Right here I have the Forever Undercover 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation by Dior, and then I also have the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation in the shade Nude. So I'm going to start off with the Hourglass foundation, and I'm just going to draw some streaks on my face. So as I'm sure you guys could tell right now, my foundation is a little bit too golden for me. So I'm going to mix in some of that Dior foundation. I am using the shade 20. In case any of you guys were interested, I am going to pick up just a little bit of this and then just put it right in between the areas that are a little bit more golden. And honestly, this is just going to give me the perfect skin tone color for myself, and the formula between the two is amazing. You guys have no idea. So now that I have the foundation all over my face, one thing I really like to do before I actually go in and start blending it out with a damp beauty sponge is go in with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. And I'll actually take this and spritz my face like so. I'll also take some of the Fix Plus and just spritz it onto my beauty sponge. A lot of you guys have been asking me what sponge I've been using. This one is by Wet n Wild, and it literally is amazing. I'm actually gonna go on the Wet n Wild website and order some backups because I literally love it that much. I love how soft it is, and I also love how it comes to a point. So it's super easy to get right up underneath the eyes. Definitely a game changer. If you guys haven't tried the sponge, definitely try it out. So anyways, back to my foundation. I'm actually going to start pouncing the sponge onto the skin and really just buffing the product into the skin like so. Gosh, I'm obsessed with the coverage of this foundation combo. If you guys haven't tried it, definitely try it. I know it is very, very expensive. Actually, you know what? Just stick to what you know, because what works well with my skin may not necessarily work well with your skin. But as you can see, the color combination between the two looks amazing compared to my neck. Oh, with whatever's left on my sponge, I do take it up on my ears. And by the way, you guys, I did actually end up just pulling my hair back out of my face just so that way I could really apply my bronzer and my foundation and things like that without my hair literally getting everywhere, because it was a situation here. And I'm just gonna take whatever's left on my sponge and just blend it down my neck and also onto my chest a little bit. I'm now going to move on to concealer. I will be using this by Jouer. This is their essential high coverage liquid concealer in the shade Macadamia. I love this concealer. It is extremely full coverage, and I love the shade Macadamia specifically because it's not too light. It's also not too dark. It's like slightly lighter than my skin tone, if you get my drift. It literally is so freaking perfect, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this underneath my eyes, also on my chin, Cupid's bow, and down the center of my face, like bridge of my nose and forehead. I'm gonna spray the pointed side of my Wet n Wild sponge, and then I'm going to actually use that to buff and blend out the concealer. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I love it. So now that I have my concealer nice and blended out, I'm now going to go ahead and set that concealer down with a loose powder. You guys know I love the Collab Set the Stage Ultra Fine Loose Powder in the shade Porcelain Ivory, so that's exactly what I'm going to use today. I actually went ahead and took my sifter out because I'm getting down to the very bottom here, and I'm just going to go ahead and dip my sponge in there kind of below, and then just press this to set that concealer down and in place. Now whenever I wear this foundation, I definitely have to go in and double powder just because it is a cream stick formula. I do find that it does kind of slip and slide if I don't set it down properly, and it does get very, very oily over a period of time. And if I double powder, which means if I go in with a loose powder and then with a pressed powder directly over top, it literally does not budge all day long. So that's why I'm going in with some additional powder on my chin, pretty much everywhere on my face. So after that thin layer of translucent powder all over the face, I'm going to go in with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Medium Plus to double powder. Now what I love about this powder is that it's not going to make you look powdery. It's really meant to set the skin and give it more of like a skin-like finish as opposed to it being overly powdery. So I'm going to take some of this and put this all over the skin. Okay, now before I actually go in and finish off my lower lash line, I'm going to spritz my face with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus to really just melt those powders down into the skin. You guys, we're literally going the extra mile for this look. While I wait for that fixing mist to dry down a little bit, I'm just going to run some brow gel through my brows. This one is by ColourPop. This is in the shade Clear, and let me just say I'm obsessed with this brow gel. Like, I really, really love it. It doesn't leave my brows like crunchy or anything like that. It's a really awesome, affordable brow gel. So try it out if you guys haven't already. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can really tell, but I have been doing my brows a little bit differently. I've been going for more of a less filled in brow. Before, I used to make them like super dark, and I tried to make them like a little bit like hair-like and piecey. So let me know how you guys feel about that down below in the comments. Anyways, I'm gonna pick up the shade called Butter from the palette on a flat definer brush, and I'm gonna smoke this out on my very lower lash line. Then with an M507, I'm simply going to buff and blend it out with a little bit of the shade called Silk Cream. After smoking out that lower lash line, I really want to define out the bottom lash line. So I'm going to pick up the shade called Chip on a super thin flat definer brush. This one is an M432. And what I'm going to do with this shade is I'm really going to press this super close to the lash line, kind of connecting it with that liner we put on the upper lid a little bit. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit of Soda Pop and put it directly over top. And I'm applying this in pressing, stamping motions. So immediately you guys can see just how that really just changed the shape of my eye. Like this eye compared to this eye. What? Honey, love. I'm now going to take a nude liner and just put this in my waterline to really brighten up the eyes again, because we kind of closed them off ever so slightly when we applied those deep colors on the very edge of the lower lash line. Following that, I'm going to go in with a little bit of lower lash mascara, and I'm just using the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. So one of the last and final things I'm going to do to the eyes before I actually move on to the rest of the face is go in with a loose pigment. I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Color Icon loose pigment in the shade Mary. It is a very, very stark, bright white, but I think it's going to look insanely beautiful in the very inner corner. Before I actually go in with the pigment, I'm going to lay down a little bit of the NYX Glitter Primer just to act as a sticky adhesive for the pigment. I do notice that when I don't lay down like a glitter glue of some sort before going in with these pigments, they kind of just go like pew, everywhere. So you want to make sure you take preventative measures and lay down a sticky base before popping that pigment directly over top. So I definitely feel like that bright inner corner really just set this entire look off. I'm telling you guys, those pigments by Wet n Wild are so universal, and I definitely recommend snagging them. I wouldn't say they're a part of like their holiday collection, but they're so inexpensive, like $3, $4 tops. Like, that's amazing. Like, I love, love, love that pigment in the very inner corner. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the rest of the face, and I'm actually going to go ahead and do some bronzer. I'm actually going to use this bronzing duo by Jouer. This is the light to medium duo, so I'm going to mix the shade called Sunlight and also Suntan together. Actually, Sunlight, Suntan. I'm going to mix them together, and I'm going to bronze up the skin a little bit. I'm also going to take a little bit of this bronzing powder to add some definition to my nose. I'm now going to move on to applying highlight. I'm going to use this by Pixie. This is the Glowy Gossamer Duo in the shade Subtle Sunrise. I told you guys a few videos back that this light gold shade is literally a spot on dupe for the Amrezy highlighter by ABH. Like, girl, friend. So foiled, so pigmented. Definitely go pick this up. I definitely recommend. So this is all the highlight I'm actually going to put on my cheekbones today, and I know, a big shocker, because normally I go ham with the highlight, but I want more of kind of like a classic, very natural look without looking like overly like shiny or shimmery or anything like that. I don't know, that's just the vibe I'm going for, and I hope you guys don't mind. I am, however, going to take a little bit onto the tip of my nose, but nothing too crazy, just something super soft and light. For blush today, I'm going to use the brand new Jouer 6 shade blush palette. And as you can see, there are so many beautiful blush shades in here, and I am so excited. Honestly, I love Jouer blushes. They're extremely pigmented and blendable and just buttery on the cheek. The shade I'm going to apply today is called Marigold, and I'm going to take that on this brush by Smashbox. This is a Smashbox sheer powder brush. You guys always ask me what this brush is called, and I love the way it diffuses out my blush. It looks beautiful. Ooh, I'm definitely replicating this look for Valentine's Day. And lastly, you want to finish off with the lips. Now you can do any lip color you want. You could do like a bubblegum pink like this. You could do a very classic nude, or you could do a very poppy red. I'm probably going to go for the red just because I think it is a signature look. I think it's very, very classic, especially with a smoky eye like this. So I'm actually going to go in with a MAC lip liner. This is called Brick, and I'm going to use this to line my lips before I actually go in with my liquid lipstick. And the liquid lipstick I'm going to apply today is by Persona Cosmetics. This is the liquid lipstick in the shade Holy Grail. And to make sure my makeup doesn't go anywhere throughout the night, I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. Alright, and this is the final and completed look. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. I will definitely say I am obsessed with this classic Valentine's Day makeup look. It's smoky, it's sultry, it's sexy. It's so universal. You can wear this with pretty much any dress, any outfit. You can swap out the lip for whatever it is that you guys want. So let me know how you guys feel about it down below in the comments. Also, if you guys still have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Join our fam by pressing the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to click that bell so that way you guys are notified anytime I upload, which is every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that, I love you, and I will talk to you guys all very, very soon. Deuces.